So you join me down on a local lake, not far from my house, in search of one of its scaly residents. Hopefully we can get a carp off the bottom. If not, we'll get one on the top and bred. Seeing as though the last couple of days the weather has been awful, thunderstorms and everything, so hopefully this warm weather has really changed the mood of the carp and they'll be up for feeding either on the bottom or the top. So hopefully we can get one. So the rod's been out for no more than, I would say, about an hour. Put some strawberry crush boilies around it and I could see a few fish knocking in the reeds, which usually on here, when they're knocking, they're up for a feed. So this little guy slipped up on a size 6 fang twister and he was nailed, mate, absolutely nailed. It's not the biggest fish in here, but they do say the smallest fish are always the hardest fish to catch. So we're gonna get him back, get a few photos, and we'll get him back. Lovely little fish. Hopefully there's more to come. So I've fished the lake for about a year and a half now. First discovered it on Google Maps, and when you walked on in the winter it was full of snow. I genuinely thought I had it to myself, but then a couple months later when the weather started to warm up again, I met, which is now one of my good friends, Lewis, and a few of his mates on here, and I was just quizzing him about the place. He said the biggest one he's had out up to now is about £15. A fish called floppy. He's got his huge great fins, and his tail is massive. It's like dead floppy, big tail, that's what we call him, floppy tail. And then on my first session, turned up, and little did I know, 10 minutes before I'd pack up, my rod would absolutely rip off, and it had my new personal best, my first ever wild carp of £16 15 ounces. I'm still yet to beat that personal best, but hopefully I can do in the near future. In February of this year, February 14th actually, what a beautiful Valentine's Day present it was to my friend Lewis. He caught the fish that we've now named the Queen, which is the biggest fish in the lake that I caught on my first session on this lovely little mature pond. It's all lined with reeds, as you can hear them all blowing in the wind now. It's a lovely day. Hopefully we can get some on the bread bomb. And that's definitely the most efficient way. Stalking them out with the heads poking out the reeds, and hopefully they're sat there, because if they are and you put a bit of bread on their head, usually they drift away and then they come floating back and they slurp it in. I've had a few fish this year already on the bread bomb, with a size 7 Nash floater claw. It definitely does the do on here. So that's what I'm going to get doing now. I'm going to get my 6-foot rod and my small 2500 size reel, and we're going to get off stalking and see if we can get some bangers.
Cause most of us are heaving through corrupted lungs, setting fire to our insides for fun, collecting names of the lovers that went wrong.
It's been a couple of weeks since you last joined me down the park lake. I've been struggling to get out recently due to me going back to work and other things at home, but my mate Lewis last night did a quick overnighter and he caught a lovely little common, only about 4 or 5 pound, but it's better than normal because the lake has been fishing quite hard recently. But in the night last night he managed to lose one, sadly, but then obviously catch one as well in the morning. His friend also had 2 just before dark from the same swim that I'm fishing today, so hopefully it will produce me some bites.
Your dream ain't true. Nothing compares, no.
finally, after waiting all day, as you can see it's getting dark, I was stood there speaking to my friend Louis, and I heard one bleep on my rod and then it screamed off. Got stuck in a bit of cabbage, bit of weed and that, but it was no issue. It was no issue. And as you can clearly see, he is really lively and still really full of energy. So it was nailed, absolutely nailed on a fox hook. I think it was size 7s. Beautiful fish, strawberry crush boilie, Nash bait. Like I say, as you can see, he's really, really, really lively. So we're gonna get some pictures and we're gonna get him back. Let's go.
A month down the line and a last minute session was planned on the park lake. This was a fishing session that was just meant to be.
Well, what a surprise that was. One of the big commons out of nowhere. Bit of floater rotor fishing at night. What a banger. The queen of the lake at 18 pound free. What a fish. Oh my God.